What if you could see your future? What if you could see exactly where your time is going? Would you still waste it the same way? This is not just a story, this is a reminder. Because time is the only thing you can never get back.
There was a time I believed wisdom came from speaking, explaining, and proving more, as if my voice could shape the world. But life quietly taught me that true wisdom isn't found in noise, only in stillness. I remember arguing with my teacher beneath an old tree, my mind restless with questions about life and conflict, speaking endlessly in search of clarity, while he remained silently present, listening deeply. And when I finally stopped expecting answers, he closed his eyes and let the silence settle. And in that stillness, I finally heard something I had never noticed before: my own thoughts. That silence felt uncomfortable at first, almost heavy, as if it was forcing me to confront parts of myself I had been avoiding. But slowly, it transformed into something peaceful, something grounding. And I realized that the noise I carried was not outside in the world, but within me, hidden beneath the constant need to respond, to react, and to be heard. You see, most people believe silence means weakness, that if you do not speak, you lose your place in the conversation. But true silence is not the absence of strength, it is the presence of control. It is the ability to pause when emotions rise, to observe instead of react, and to choose your response with awareness rather than impulse. There was once a man who came to me filled with frustration, telling me how people disrespected him and never listened to what he had to say. And as he spoke, I noticed that he never paused, never allowed space for understanding. So I asked him gently, "When was the last time you truly listened, not to reply, but to understand?" And he could not answer, because, like many of us, he had been speaking his entire life without ever hearing. Silence teaches you to listen beyond words, to notice what people feel but do not say, to understand intentions rather than just statements. And when you begin to listen this way, your relationships begin to change, not because others have changed, but because you have. In moments of conflict, words often become weapons, sharpened by ego and driven by the need to be right. But silence disarms that conflict. It creates space where understanding can grow. And sometimes the most powerful response is not a clever argument, but a calm presence that refuses to be pulled into chaos. I have learned that words can be misunderstood, twisted, or forgotten. But silence carries a different kind of message, one that is felt rather than heard. And when your silence is rooted in awareness, it speaks of confidence, patience, and inner peace without needing to say anything at all. This does not mean you should never speak, because words have their place. But when you speak less, your words begin to carry weight. They become intentional, meaningful, and precise. And people begin to listen not because you are loud, but because you are clear. To practice this, begin with small moments in your day. When you feel the urge to interrupt, allow the other person to finish. When you feel the need to defend yourself immediately, take a breath and observe your emotions. And when you feel overwhelmed, sit in silence even for a few minutes and let your mind settle like still water. Over time, you will notice a shift. Your reactions will become responses, your thoughts will become clearer, and your presence will become calmer. And in that calmness, you will discover a quiet strength that does not need validation. So I ask you now, as you listen to these words, how much of your life is spent reacting and how much is spent understanding? Because the more you learn to embrace silence, the more you will begin to see what truly matters.
This is Wisdom Awakens. If this story spoke to you, take a moment to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful journeys. Because true awakening begins in silence. What are your thoughts on this? Have you experienced the power of silence? Share your experience in the comments below.